Leslie here with Parenting Paused. And this week I have been contemplating a lot the future and how hard it is to stay with now, especially with our children when we keep projecting into the future. And the problem with projecting into the future is that when we see the future, then we start to parent them as if they're in the future, or to get them ready for the future, prepare them for the future. And they aren't living in the future. They are living in the now, and so are we. And I know right now, especially for me, I'm sure it's true for you, the future feels a little scary with all that's going on in the world. And of course, we want to do everything we can to protect our children. I mean, that's just natural and normal. Whenever my child feels threatened, or I perceive that she's being threatened in some way, I get like a mama bear, right? My energy gets intense. I want to start fighting. I want to start doing what I need to do to protect her. And all of that energy is projected into a future scenario. And what I found out, and you may too, the good news is that I don't get to project the future, but I do know that all the futures that have arisen for me, I've met them. And I really want you to hear this. And the scarier the future feels, the more we feel like I won't be able to meet that, or my child won't be able to meet that. And so I support you in reflecting back, or reflecting into the now. That anything that's happened, and that does not mean all good things have happened. I know it's been difficult. It's been challenging for many of you in the pandemic. It was really, really intense. None of us even knew that was a possibility for the future. Of course, we couldn't prepare for that. And yet, if you're listening to this, you're here now. So if you can focus in to that part of you, instead of fantasizing about a future, trying to keep it from happening, because in my experience, I don't have that control or that power. But I do have a confidence inside of myself that whatever has come to me, difficult, good, whatever it is, that I have been able to be with it in the present. So this is a really huge piece, because otherwise, if we don't tap into that, we are going to spend a lot of time worrying about a future. And our children energetically feel that. They energetically feel our push or our pull or our force, all in the name of protection, to keep them safe. They are going to feel our future projection in the present. And it's going to be confusing. I mean, it was confusing for me growing up. I imagine it's confusing for you to actually have that energy coming in from the future that we really have no clue is going to happen, but we maybe project out. And again, the more sensitive you are, at least this is my experience, I'm highly sensitive and imaginative. So my imagination can create quite terrifying, intense scenarios. And energetically, if I'm sitting in that place and I'm trying to protect my child from that imaginary future, energetically, my energy is in the future. It's the energy of the fear of the future. So take some time this week. I know it's intense for most of us, I think, in just seeing what's going on in the world. And if it is for you, take a breath and just recognize where you are right now. Are you safe right now in your home? Are your kids okay right now? Right? How is it right now? And then do a few moments to reflect back to all the difficult times that you have faced that you didn't know were coming. As I say, the pandemic was a perfect one. None of us knew we were going to be locked in our houses for a couple of years. We couldn't have actually even imagined that, or at least I couldn't. Maybe you did, but I never imagined that even at the beginning. I thought it was going to be over really fast. I didn't imagine that I was going to be in my house locked in for 2 years. And yet, I had the resources, I had the capacity to be with that as it happened. So that's what you're going to focus on this week. If the fear of the future is affecting you really deeply and you're taking that into your parenting, of course, it's normal to. Again, I would do anything to protect my daughter. I'm sure you would too with your children. And the greatest gift I realize I can give her is to be in the reality, not to be naive about future possibilities, but be in the reality of that whatever has come, I have been able to be with it and deal with it. And so has my daughter. And I imagine so have you. So I hope you have a good week this week. If you need more support, reach out. It's a time when I think the more support we have to love ourselves, to be with ourselves, to be with reality as it is, but also not to get too freaked out about that future possibility. If you need to, reach out to Leslie at purejoyparenting.com. I'm always here to support you, to hear from you, and many, many, many blessings on your week. Thank you for listening to this episode of Parenting Paused. If you enjoyed the episode, do me a favor and share it with your mama friends. You can also leave a review wherever you listen, which will support getting the Pure Joy message out. Come on over to the Pure Joy Parenting Practice Facebook page or join me on Instagram to hear more. And don't forget to download your free copy of the Safe Seat course on the Pure Joy website. And while there, check out the offerings page to go deeper in the Pure Joy work.